David Banner.
Face. Hey. Look, somebody better check my track record. Look at all these tracks and records, and how I be drilling these bitches like I'm Black and Decker. My music sounding more mature, I must be acting better. Your shit sound like a car wreck, but I'll fuck your back and neck up. The auto-tune king, sound of the new age. 2009, y'all was 2002 late. 3 cheers for Nappy Boy, hip hip hooray, and I'm shutting niggas down like I was a part of the boule. I be playing stupid so you figure I'm silly, but you niggas ain't saying shit like you was Milli Vanilli. And now you seeing that I really can kill it. But even before I was T-Pain, my people knew I was the shit in my city. And now these bitches let me spit on their titties. They want the DNA. They know tomorrow's good if I'm putting out all this heat today. But they get mad when all they getting is a piece of chain. It's just a war going on outside for peace sakes. Face it, your fears, I mean. I can count on one hand how many tears I've seen. I wipe the same tears with the same hand. Bitch, you know me, you know T, still the same man. Damn, face it, your fears, I mean. I can count on one hand how many tears I've seen. Wipe the same tears with the same hand. Bitch, you know me, you know T, still the same man. Yeah. Now you niggas looking stupid as me. If you the man and you can stop me, bitch, come do it and see. Cause I'm a win-win no matter what, and I'm the living proof. So all that hating bounce off of me and it stick to you. And you can't stick and move, and you can't bob and weave, and the nappy boy ain't the shit. Stop calling me. Like Biggie Smalls, it was all a dream. My life is like a movie now, but I got the lead rolling. I'm in all the scenes. I step out fresh, even my dog is clean. But y'all niggas like, shit, when I get some money, I'ma buy all the weed. Hold up, nigga, pause, freeze. I don't even wear them coattails no more, so go nuts, but please get up off these. I keep telling niggas that life is what you make it. And if you've ever seen success, you know that you can't fake it. But if you've ever been the best, then I congratulate it. And God has just been testing me, and I think I just aced it. Can you face it? Your fears, I mean. I can count on one hand how many tears I've seen. Wipe the same tears with the same hand. But you know me, you know T, still the same man. Damn, face it. Your fears, I mean. I can count on one hand how many tears I've seen. Wipe the same tears with the same hand. But you know me, you know T, still the same man. Damn.
Shit. Y'all having a good motherfucking time today, huh?
At your expense, yes.
So it's the David Banner motherfucking podcast.
Yeah.
And T-Pain, it was a very special day for you. Although it was yesterday or day before. Yeah, yesterday, but
I can keep going like a week. I'm going for like a week.
guess what? We got something very, very special for you.
Is it strippers?
It might be.
Okay.
All right, Scott. Happy motherfucking birthday.
That's aggressive.
T-Pain. Happy motherfucking birthday. Cake, motherfucker. Cake for T-Pain. Eat your motherfucking cake, niggas. Oh.
This is dangerous. This is real
Day to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
Oh, shit.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Lee, smoke some fucking weed.
But where the cake place
Alright.
tonight?
I'm just gonna.
Regina, you always gonna eat, don't you? Always. Where's the cakes, the
Mind
knives?
your business.
You ready to
Mind
eat
So much hotter.
Hey, man, just.
all the time.
Hey!
Yeah.
I like that. That's no saliva blocking. That's what I'm
Right.
talking
You
about.
gotta spit all over the cake.
I ain't feeling my.
You gotta put it at full. Okay, there you go. Well, this is about as black as it's gonna get tonight.
I need some more volume, Corey.
Shit.
We're gonna Florida in this motherfucker. Run your shit.
I can't
Oh
with you.
man.
Hey,
this is nice. Thank you guys.
That's all good, bro.
Thank you.
Don't elbow the fuck.
I'm not gonna elbow the cake. It's a big fucking cake. I don't know how y'all thought I was
I
gonna
think
get
that
this
cake
out
got Hennessy in it.
It
of here.
does.
Right. It's cake and Hennessy. One of these flavors is gonna
So-
clash.
That's big enough to have a stripper in it.
And
Sorry.
Regina.
He gonna open that motherfucker. You keep saying that.
Regina.
She didn't
I'm
lie.
sorry.
She didn't lie. She didn't lie. That was
That
good.
was his birthday request.
I
Sorry.
really appreciate it.
Oh, man, I had another one. I was going to say the kind you like.
What's that?
Oh, I can't.
All right, so I'm gonna start off before we talk to T-Pain. I want to tell y'all something today, man. I do what the fuck I want to do.
That's a true
A
statement.
lot of times motherfuckers think we perfect, and just because motherfuckers try to be conscious and try to grow up and do better, motherfuckers think that we don't make mistakes. And that's one of the reasons why, bro, it was important for me to have you, first of all, because of our friendship.
All right.
Second of all, you always been yourself, bro, like ever since I met you. But do you remember when I performed at the Moon?
I sure do every fucking time.
Before I got the deal, tell them
Every
about that
time.
night, man.
That night changed my life. I don't even know if you noticed. When you performed at the Moon, I was up on the 3rd floor, and I was watching you perform. And I don't know how you were so goddamn agile, but you would always climb on everything.
Oh, God.
You was always climbing on things, always just doing the most dangerous things. And you came up to the 3rd floor. I don't know how you got up there because you didn't use the stairs at all. And you poured Hennessy in what you thought was going to be my mouth, just ended up being my entire face. So yeah, you was performing, and you poured Hennessy in my mouth, man. And that night right there, I said to myself, if I get big and I make it big, if I don't have that much energy on stage, I don't want to do this shit. Like I got when people say T-Pain got a lot of energy in the show, I always think about you and how you performed that night, and you had that much energy, and was like, it really influenced me to that's the most fun I've ever had at a concert. So I need to make sure that everybody has that much fun in my concerts, and I'm gonna have that David Banner energy every time I fucking get on stage.
So, bro, I saw an interview one time where you said you was standing in the crowd, you got emotional. You remember that? What was that?
I cried.
For real?
I cried that night. That night you fucking came up there and did that. I cried that night. I cried all over the fucking place because it was so inspiring. It was like, man. I was like, man, I wanna do that. I was like,
Hold on,
man.
y'all. Let's talk about this, bro. Wait.
It wasn't like a sad cry. It was like, oh my
the
God,
hat
the
is
hat is back. God damn it.
Oh, my God.
It wasn't a sad cry. It was like man, I really want to do that. Like that's what I want to do. That's how I want to make people feel all the time. And that really helped.
Come on, man.
So I appreciate it.
Back to the other hat.
We back.
This is such a big
Hey,
problem.
man, so I had a hard week this week. I got threw out of college. We're going to talk about that.
You have
next.
those?
Huh?
You have hard weeks?
Yeah, I had a real hard week this week. And
Jesus.
we're going to talk about it on the next show. We're not going to put that shit on UT-Pay. Pass me that. For all you motherfuckers.
It's just a lot of that.
This is to all my conscious fans
good-
out there.
Oh, boy.
It has just started.
That's just wow, that's a lot
Fucking
of that.
right. Happy birthday, T-Pain. So tell me this first of all, bro. Tell me T-Pain before 2 days before the deal. What were you doing?
Begging for 50 cents in front of McDonald's.
Yeah.
They had fire cheeseburgers. It was only 49 cents.
Right.
Over the top. It was really good. But nah, man, I used to sit out in front of McDonald's and,
Which one? South Monroe?
South Monroe, yes. Absolutely. That was my joint. Everybody knew my car. They knew I was there, and they knew I was living in it. And I was just trying to stay alive, man. You know what I'm saying? And the actual day that Akon called me, when he called me, I had an application for McDonald's in my hand.
I heard that story.
Yeah, so it was close. It almost didn't happen.
So let me tell you something. One thing that people don't understand is we come from very similar backgrounds. Like, how was it in the city for you? Because I know for me, from going from being homeless
Right.
to people announcing I had a $10 million deal.
It was a lot.
What was that feeling like?
It it was surreal at a point, but it wasn't unbelievable. And you know, my dad was always a teacher of, you know, don't be negative, but don't be overly positive.
Mhm.
You know, don't think that things don't go wrong. It's so aggressive. Yeah, that's a lot. You got a lot of pads for that.
I do.
So, you know, I mean, it felt good, but I was ready for something to go wrong.
Right.
You know, because good things don't really happen to us. So, so it was kind of like, I'm cool.
Right.
Let's do this. I'm watching everybody.
Right.
And I'm also ready to lose this shit, and I will go back to McDonald's, no problem. So, you know, I always kept that happiness about me to where I could still, even to this day, I can still go back to doing the shit for free if somebody say my music is fire.
Well,
That'll be my payment.
Well, we won't do that. We won't worry about that because, we gonna keep moving.
Nobody wants to do that, but if it came down to it,
Yeah.
and somehow I just lost it all, and you know, family left me or some shit like that, and I'll just go back to writing verses in the room. If somebody tell me it's fire for that day, that's my happiness for the week. I'm good.
So be it. What happened that let you know that you made it? Like, cause I remember what happened to me.
You know, I don't, man. I've never gotten the sense that I've made it.
Uh-huh.
I've gotten the sense of where I was in life at the time. It was much better than where I was before. And one day I was getting ready for a show, and I had a fucking fire outfit. Outfit was just out of control. I was getting dressed in my room, and it was time to go. And I walked by the full-length mirror, and I stopped to look at the outfit, and I was like, fuck, I'm T-Pain. This is crazy. And I just walked out. And I just went on about my day. But that was like the first time that I stopped and looked. I think that was probably 2008, 7 or 8.
I remember I was in New York, and I was in a car in New York, and this Asian guys, it was a group of Asians, they could barely speak English. I was like, I made it in this bitch. I'm in New York, and some Asian motherfuckers who don't even know.
Yeah,
like,
first of all, you're in New York. That's already.
Yeah, let's start there.
and motherfuckers like, I was like, oh shit, son. We done made it in this bitch.
Oh my God, that's probably exactly how they said it too.
What was your first, like, irresponsible, big ballin' type purchase? Like, not the house for my parents or whatever, but like just some crazy shit.
Look, outside the Bugatti, because everybody know you bought that in that
just
big ass
irresponsible.
Yeah.
outside
That
the
you
chain
can
in the Bugatti.
Completely and utterly irresponsible purchase. Don't buy a Bugatti. Do buy it if you got, you know.
If you can afford 7 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely
Get one.
buy at least one. Definitely buy at least one if you can afford 7 of them. But I think the first irresponsible purchase, it wasn't even a purchase, it was an investment. I hooked up 10 celebrity cars for free to promote my car shop. And, you know, it was just a free thing. Send me your car. Yeah, it was crazy.
You would write it off, though, right?
You would. I thought that. Niggas ain't putting rims on their taxes, man.
So you saying the return on investment wasn't that
It was not
substantial?
great, but all I needed was a drop. Like,
Right.
I just wanted you to, when you get your car back, stand next to your car, say where you got it hooked up, blah, blah, blah. Literally not one.
They did
single
not
person.
do that.
Not one.
They did not do that.
Not one of them sorry motherfuckers did that shit.
Wow.
And it was a lot of basketball players, singers, like niggas. I really, I lost a lot of friendships at that point. It was not great.
What was something that did anything ever happen because of the money with like family or friends? And of course, don't name any names, but like I don't think that people know the pressure.
Oh, my dad and I fell out.
Really?
All the way. You know how close me and my dad
Yeah.
was, you know. So we fell out all the way. He started letting the money blind him, and you know, the last straw for me when he came to one of my shows in Tallahassee. He was asking me for money, and I was like, I mean, how you doing? You haven't even said hello to me today.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and we got into an argument backstage, and the last thing he said was, "Look, man, you give me $200,000, you ain't gotta acknowledge I'm alive." I was like,
Wow.
fuck.
Damn.
I was like, that's how much you cost? That's crazy. You're my dad.
Did it hurt?
Oh, I didn't do the show.
Yeah.
I cried for the rest of the night. I left the venue. I didn't even do the show. Yeah, it was real bad, man, and it stayed like that for a minute because that's not something you can just take back.
Because one of the things that happens in our community that I don't think is fair is sometimes, and I'm not saying all parents, but they position themselves as if they're the children. And,
Right.
and the dependency, like not only is it your parents, it's your block,
Right.
it's all your homeboys.
The most fucked
it's-
up thing about the parent part is it's like I raised you, so you kind of owe me money. It's like, did you not?
No, like you.
Did you not want to have a kid?
Yeah, you was the one that was fucking, not me. Like you was fucking.
I don't owe you money because you let somebody nut in you. That's not a part of my job. That's not part of my
Hold
job.
on, wait. You know what? You know what? I just thought about Scott. We are skipping your part today,
Oh,
but
shit.
just for Salih, guess what we're gonna do right
Oh, boy.
motherfucking now?
This
Just
sounds-
because of that.
This sounds irresponsible.
Just because of that. Ready, Salih? Turn up
boy.
on it.
Three pumps in a squirt.
Oh.
3 pumps in a squirt.
Hey.
3 pumps in a squirt.
Wow. Hey.
3 pumps in the squirt. 3 pumps in the
Hey,
squirt.
Tyler, when they want you to raise them, be like, I could have put you on the floor.
You could have ended up on somebody's back,
Like,
and
you
you
could've
sitting
been
here
on the floor, man.
acting like you don't owe me no money.
Get on the wall.
I could have put you on the floor.
Put you on the wall, but you're here. And you owe me a check.
Regina, do you
you owe me a check.
Regina, do you
could've
have
been-
any questions?
Could have been in a sock right now.
Yeah,
acting
can you
like-
stop playing?
What? This right here?
God damn it! You just prompted him to hit it again.
You know that. You know they be hating that shit too. I just love when you press it now.
So
The last 20 seconds, huh?
do you have any questions for T-Pain?
Actually, I was listening to the Breakfast Club or watching the Breakfast Club interview, and he said something that I was dealing with over the weekend about how you used to read the comments.
Oh yeah,
Man,
Wow.
yeah. I see it as I may have explained this and over-explained it, but I see it as you literally have your own focus group. You know what people don't like. You can find out what people don't like. You literally have the other team's playbook. Like if you can avoid those things and move around those things, I think that's the other team's playbook to me. And it's hard to look at because most people just want you to respond and be popular and show their friends that, hey, look, I got a celebrity to say something to me, which is a weird fucking accomplishment. It's not something to be happy about.
Resume builder.
Just a person talking to you. So, mostly is how we would like that to end up. But yeah, I really think it's a gift and a curse. It's giving everybody a voice, but in turn has given a voice to people that really, really don't need one.
no, they need to be muted. They really do need to be
accomplish shit
muted.
in their life either and be just talking.
Right.
Like,
But they always think they know because they think they've seen the patterns. Everybody's telling me, the comment I hate the most right now is you need to give us an album without auto-tune. You need to record an album without it. If you just stop using auto-tune, you'll make it and you'll get big again.
Right,
I'm
you
like,
made it.
I'm
What
like,
the fuck are they
but
talking
my
about?
thing is, you remember my first album had little to no auto-tune. Y'all didn't like that shit. My second album had all auto-tune, went double platinum. Which one you think I'm gonna keep doing?
right.
And that's one of my things. Unsuccessful people always have ideas, especially when they hadn't put a dime in. Everybody
And no hours.
Right, and it
None.
seems like that's how they think that they can get close to you. Is man, I really like the podcast, but
I think you need to.
yeah, what the fuck? Like, enjoy the motherfucker.
Or
don't.
Or he said, or
make your own.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have a better idea, if you know you have a better idea in your head, first of all, stop fucking giving it to people and make your own money. And then your shit can be number one, mine can be number two, and you can brag about how you had a better idea.
And then we'll be in your
you know what I'm
comments.
saying? Like, if you really have a better idea and you really believe that, stop fucking giving your ideas away.
Yeah, and
Stop putting your ideas in the comments.
and you don't go on TV saying, "Hey, you look what Game of Thrones. I think they should use a
think you gotta
longer
do-
sword."
Yeah,
Yeah, like man, enjoy
this
the
is fine.
motherfucker.
Fucking enjoy it, dude.
Yeah.
Or
Just
change the
enjoy.
channel. You can do that too. Why are
change
you
the
on here
channel.
fucking with me?
Change the
Tune in.
channel.
Or
Like everything ain't for fucking everybody.
or
period.
make your own. Yeah, I always tell people that. If you don't like my music, that means I didn't make it for you.
Right.
That's a good
If you don't like my shit, that's what Quentin Tarantino, that's how Quentin Tarantino make movies. He said, I don't make my movies for anybody. I make movies that I enjoy. And hopefully there's somebody out there as crazy as me that also enjoy it. It's not for anybody. You ain't in my demo, my nigga. Like I'm not here for you. I'm not here making this thing for you. I'm not in my studio saying, oh my God, I got a fire verse. I hope Darren from Denver is gonna like this.
The build-up was amazing.
Oh shit.
Fucking people in South Dakota trying to tell me how to make music. Get the hell out of
Oh
here.
shit.
And it's always a motherfucker who say something that got a little thing and they got like 3 photos or some shit and they never really got nothing on
Really
there.
got nothing going
And
on.
they just be like, where the fuck did you just really come from with this
Yeah,
shit?
you
It
just
be real
appeared
left
as a
field.
person out of nowhere. It's weirdos. I don't know, man.
What was the closest call that you ever had on the road?
Shit, man. My golf cart accident.
I didn't know about
I
that.
flipped over a golf cart.
Did you know that?
Where
I
were
know
you?
that one.
I was in Texas.
What the fuck were you doing?
I was on Lil. Well, okay. It
He
was,
said, okay.
so check it out. It wasn't a normal golf cart. Feel free to look it up. T-Pain golf cart. It's there.
It's everywhere.
Shit had hydraulics, 22-inch spinners on it. It was crazy. It was just so I would drive it on stage for my show for the intro, and it wasn't fast enough. It took too long to get on the stage, so I had some of the production people from the tour just hook up the engine, just make it go a little faster. And I don't know why I wanted to test it on a hill. I went up the hill, couldn't find another way to get back down the hill but going back down the hill. It was, boy, that was a decline. Turns out, golf cart brakes don't stop 22s that well. So, yeah, a couple fishtails here and there. Ended up, bashed my head on the fucking sidewalk. My whole mouth went right into the sidewalk. I broke out all my front teeth. Yeah, it was not great.
Yeah,
I had to fix the next day.
shit.
I gotta fix the next day. I found a dentist that was open after fucking 8 o'clock.
They took you in the back of what's the animal? Where they
It was just
take
a van.
animals?
It was just a van.
The vet clinic. They took him in the back of vet clinic. Shot that motherfucker up.
Oh, he was in Texas. They took it where they do the cows.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
livestock- the livestock
damn
joint.
near. They did. Nah, they shot me up crazy. They put me to sleep like a damn dog. They put me to sleep. Woke up. I had new teeth. I couldn't eat anything solid for 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, applesauce is fire, by the way. Just in case anybody wants to revisit that from childhood, applesauce is still fire. Just letting you know.
I know what the fuck I want to talk about. So listen, y'all. I brought in Chef Marlowe and I was like, I'm going to impress T-Pain. And like, bro, I'm show him I'm have a little Mississippi class, man. I brung in high-end chef, bro. Y'all know Chef Marlowe. I asked T-Pain last night, bro, what do you want to eat? I got a chef for you. This motherfucker says,
I feel like it's a valid fucking.
this motherfucker said, I want ramen noodles. He said, I want shrimp-flavored ramen noodles. And I laughed like,
Yo, I saw Chef with them, and I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck he got noodles for?
Yeah. Yo, Banner hit me back like, no, I'm serious. Like, I'm gonna ask somebody to cook. I had to go. I swear my text went through. I didn't misspell anything. I didn't know fuck. I said shrimp flavored ramen noodles. You definitely thought you really thought
no,
I was
I'm
joking.
still it. And he was happy as fuck when he got them. And so he cooked the ramen noodles and then cooked something else just in case
He
he
went
was
crazy. He actually put shrimp in the fucking ramen
joking. And you
noodles.
was mad.
He
wanted the count with the
flavor
sodium.
dust.
Oh,
Yeah, with
you
the
want
sodium
the-
intake of
I
1,000.
want the flavor dust.
genocide package.
He want the heart attack starter kit.
The
Give me the
MSG,
shrimp dust.
the
I'm
heart
fine with that.
disease, the
I
heart
can eat that
disease
shit every
bag.
meal.
You know something I always wanted to ask you was like Roger Troutman or T-Pain. I mean, Roger Troutman or Teddy Riley, one of your influences.
Oh yeah, Teddy Riley for sure. Teddy Riley gave me my first MPC.
Oh, word?
Yeah. My daddy went to go see him, and yeah, he just had a 2000 just laying around. That was the first MPC I ever had, and just it was Teddy Riley. So it was a huge influence. The first song I recorded in autotune was "Creep."
Oh, okay.
I did a remix to "Creep" from Blackstreet, and that was the first song I used autotune on.
I want to ask you a question, something that I noticed,
I want
especially
to give you an answer.
as it pertains to the South. I noticed like when we do really dope shit and people take it, they never acknowledge it. Like, I'm serious. Like, bro, you started a whole genre
Yeah.
of music, and people took the shit and then don't want to acknowledge. I watched them do the same thing to the Migos. I watched them
Yeah.
take their fucking style, but
Absolutely.
not acknowledge the fact that them young
Everybody.
boys had changed
Everybody.
music.
Absolutely.
How does that make you feel personally?
You know what? At first, I was very bitter and very angry at everybody. I didn't like anybody using my shit. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Tommy Hilfiger. It was just a lot going on. I remember Tommy Hilfiger said he didn't want black people wearing his clothes.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty funny. But no, I mean, at first I was real bitter, and then, you know, throughout the years, I've learned to at least attempt to take some positivity out of every situation I'm in. So instead of being bitter, saying, "Oh, they took my shit, I'm not getting acknowledged," you know, I sit back and bask in the fact of, I did that.
Yeah.
That was
Did
from
it
me.
well.
That's from me. That's from
Yeah,
me.
you damn
See
sure
that thing you
did
just
that.
did?
High level.
Sitting in there with my son, like, see that?
So speaking of your son, bro, I told you when I brought you on the show, that's what I wanted to talk about was
Right.
family, because I never heard you really talk about your family
Yeah.
on the show
Yeah,
before,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
How is that? Because I
It's
don't
really
know.
cool.
Did you ever hear what happened to my children?
No.
Oh, my God.
Did you?
It's a little sad.
Did you have any?
They got swallowed.
I'm just kidding.
Regina, get your boy.
Hey, and he threw the other ones on the floor.
I'm just glad you have this platform.
He threw them twins on the floor.
This is why you have to create your own podcast.
That's exactly why.
So I can do what the fuck I want to do.
I'm just glad you have this.
But seriously, bro, like,
I'm proud of you.
bro, you know what? I got tired. I really got tired of, man, like, just being in boxes, dog. It's like assume
Yeah.
you're a maniac, and then they call you a maniac, and then you reform yourself, then they act like you wasn't a maniac.
I always call you a passionate person.
Well, we just people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always called you a passionate person. Everybody's like, man, David just mad. I'm like, no, he has a vision. And if it's not turning out how he sees it, that's, you know,
Hey, y'all,
something to get up in arms about, nigga.
I want to say something, man. Why T-Pain is here? I want to come out about something, man. I really like to fuck women. I like to fuck women a lot. I do. And because I'm conscious people think I don't want to fuck, I like to come out today as a heterosexual man and say I like to fuck. I still read. I still pray.
You know what's weird?
I still
I'm
meditate.
praying right now.
You know what's weird? And I always, and
What you say, Regina?
I'm praying right
Hold on,
She
wait.
praying.
All right, then, since we gonna start
If
this
we
shit
got it.
again, since we gonna start this, turn it up. Are you ready?
Is that remix to Three Pumps in the Square? Something else. What's happening right now? I'm not 100% sure what's happening right now, but you got it, brother.
And that's the point.
She's a BMN. That's what she likes to call people.
Stop lying, Lee.
BMN.
Here's something I say to people.
T-Pain, you know what a BMN is?
Huh?
You know what a BMN is?
No.
What a what?
Never mind.
BME.
BME?
BMN.
BME.
You guys don't even know
Yeah.
what it is.
Is that publishing? I'm joking. What is that now?
Black man.
Really?
That makes sense.
Corey, don't forget to bleep that.
Jesus.
Corey,
that's
you
the
should
thing we
bleep that
believe?
whole track.
That's the one thing we believe.
That's the one
Yeah,
thing
that's,
we
that's off limits. That's off limits.
So, your
That's
children.
what crossed the line.
Back to children.
Your children.
I don't think well, they express their humor. My kids ain't like super funny, but you know, that's
they're
just
serious,
calculation. It's
and it was funny.
all the pieces are there. It's the delivery.
How old are your children?
I got 15, 12, and 10.
So do they know, like, do they remember, like, they know that you was like the man at one point?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All
for
right.
sure. They used to call me Other Daddy, and I used to, you know, think about that a lot. When they saw me on TV, they thought I was a completely different person,
Oh, wow.
and you know, as opposed to the person at home. And you know, either that or my wife is cheating on me with somebody who looked like me. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
No, don't
One
do
of the
that.
two.
Don't do that.
There's
man.
alternate universes where things can
Happen.
wanna-
What was the biggest strain of being a parent and being a superstar?
You know, I would always tell people that balancing, you know, my career and my family was easy. What did you just do?
Oh my goodness.
You're just going fully.
Oh, we used to call this person Mr. On One.
Fight was coming.
Mr. On
Bruce.
One. Tie
but no,
your,
the-
tie your
the-
boots up, Salih.
The thing I would tell people is that,
Long
you know,
night.
balancing family and career is easy, but that's because at the time I wasn't paying attention to my family. You know, I was so caught up in the fame, I was like, what the fuck is everybody talking about? I'm balancing my family and fame very well.
Very well. from this perspective.
Right, absolutely. This is fucking easy. What the fuck is everybody talking about? And then I realized, yeah, you haven't talked to your wife in about 4 days. So you should probably pick up the phone. And you know, I felt like I didn't need to. You know, I felt like I was the man. I was the man to everybody but my family. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was the biggest strain was not realizing that I got rid of the strain.
I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me, and tell me if this ever happened to you. I thought that making money was what my family needed, and I realized that I didn't know my little brother.
For sure.
Like I turned around and like he had grown up, and I had missed him under the veil of providing for my family. When in actuality, the most important thing was the time.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother was grown, and I didn't. Like we would laugh and play, and when I would come home, we would kick it or whatever.
For
but
sure.
I didn't know him. Like, did that ever happen to you?
Yeah, that happened to me. You know, I missed a lot of my older sister. Like I missed a lot of her years to a point to where it was so long between the times I had seen my sister. Like she looked different when I saw her. You know what I'm saying? And it was like it was a weird feeling, man. It was like, fuck, when did you start looking like this? It was like, she didn't like gain weight or anything. I just legit hadn't seen her in so long. I didn't recognize her. You know, my brother that was right above me in age, you know, I stopped answering the phone for him because every time he called me, it was like, hey, can I get $20 and do this and do that? And just, like, it was always something, money was always something that was like, give me. And then, you know, I didn't realize how much I was disconnected from him. From when I was back in Tallahassee, we would ride together. This is how close we were. We had routines we would do in my car when I would drive him around. And when we pull up to the party, we would play specific songs. We would do specific things together. And when we pull up to the party, everybody knows me. I had strobe lights in my car, a fucking fog machine in the trunk. And we would like ride around. He taught me how to do all that stuff. And he knew what fun was. We were the closest in the whole family. And we got so disconnected when money got involved that I didn't talk to him, you know, for damn near a year at a time sometimes. And, you know, when I reflect on it, you know, in hindsight, there was no reason. I could have just answered the phone and just said no. Like, you know what I'm saying? There was no reason for me to just not answer the phone. I could have just said no. But then when he passed away in February, and that made me like, fuck. The last few text messages I got from him was just checking on you. Or just trying to, you know what I'm saying? But in my mind, he wasn't just trying to check on me. He was trying to lure me in so he can get me on the phone and ask me for money. But he may have actually been checking on me.
But the thing is, and he could have actually been luring you in because we don't know that because he didn't know that was coming and you didn't know that was coming because we have a tendency to torture ourselves, and I found out through therapy that's not really fair to us.
Yeah.
You know, and those feelings what made you feel that way, you didn't make that up.
Right.
You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So